Hi, everyone. This is Shirley from Shirley's World Vlog. Hi, Diane. Yeah. And Bumblebee's here. Good. I'm glad you got on, Bumblebee. I hope your phone or your laptop doesn't run out. Yeah. I didn't know whether I'd be able to do this or not because at church this morning, I started getting a blind spot, which means I'm going to get a migraine. And usually when I get that blind spot or that aura, if I lay down immediately and get in the dark and take some aspirin with caffeine, I can make the headache not come. I don't get the headache. However, I was in church. I only saw half the preacher preaching, and I had this blind spot. I was so afraid that I wouldn't be able to see very good driving home. So I prayed real hard that I'd be able to see. And do you know, when I got out to the car, I had no blind spot. However, by the time I got home, I started to get the headache. I took something right away, but it didn't stop it. I had a horrible headache till about 2:30 this afternoon. Uh, yeah, I had it like 3, 4 hours. So thank goodness it's mostly gone. Because it was terrible. I just laid my recliner with my eye cover on and, took something for it. So, hopefully it's all better and doesn't come back. So, I have to tell you, today in church, the preacher, which I just met him, the first day I was there, which was like this is my 3rd or 4th 3rd, do I don't know. It's either the 3rd or 4th time I've been there. And I've met him, and he called me Shirley the last 2 Sundays, and today he introduced me to his wife, and he called me Faith. I said, I like the name, but my name isn't Faith, it's Shirley." And then he remembered. I don't know why he called me that, but yeah. I mean, he there's a lot of people there. Uh, so let me tell you, I sold 8 items on eBay and 3 items on Poshmark this past week. There's a couple items that I will do the ship with me tomorrow that you won't see. Um, one of them, which is going to be included here because I sold it yesterday on Saturday. Yeah, Jane's here. Hi, Jane. Yeah, our little group is here. I got sort of dressed up today. Not really dressed up. I have these neat lounge pants. They're stretchy pants. You've probably seen them online that you can buy, and you're not going to be able to see. They're real stretchy. They're sort of oh, I don't know what they're made of. Stretchy polyester type thing. And they don't wrinkle at all, and they always look very neat. And that's what I usually wear with something. So I was upstairs getting dressed, and I saw this hanging in my inventory, and I thought, boy, that would go good with this. So this is what I wore to church. I was fancy. I wore this Chico's zebra print top. It's actually a jacket. It zips down the front and has a band across it. It's just a jacket. And this is what I wore today. I got a couple compliments too at church, but it's going back in the inventory. It's a used item. I think it's okay. I was very careful with it. Yeah, I like it. Maybe I should just pull it out of inventory and have it for me. That's one nice thing about selling reselling things. You have all this inventory you can pick from if you need something. Ah, so I'll show you at the end if I don't forget. I dug out my potatoes this week, and they're drying on the porch, on the kitchen porch. They have to sit out for a week or two until they get good and dry, so they don't rot. You can't put them away wet. So uh, they're very small, but when you think of the number of potatoes I planted that actually took off and the number of potatoes I got, I mean it's a lot of potatoes, but they're very small. So I'll show you at the end. It was fun. Planting potatoes is really fun because you get like a treasure. You dig for treasures at the end. After all the bush part dies back and gets all brown and dies back, then it's time to dig the potatoes. Now, my sweet potatoes aren't ready yet. The vine is still green and thriving, so it takes longer for them. So I have no idea how many sweet potatoes I have. I'm still getting things from my garden. Uh, the tomatoes are pretty much done. I picked like 3 more green tomatoes because I'm not sure whether they're gonna get red or not, so I just put them in my window on my windowsill, and they get red. It's not as good as letting them, ripen on the vine, but yeah, it's better than nothing. And there's some more overdone cucumbers out there. There's another eggplant, that I'm gonna try to get to grow a little bigger, but it may not. I don't know. This is the time of year, if the nights get too cool and things sort of stop growing. But my winter squash is slowly getting yellow, so it can be out there. It can be out there even after the frost, if it's not a real hard frost, until it gets nice and yellow. So I'll have several of those. That's my favorite. Well, acorn squash is my favorite. I have 3 of those. I've eaten one already. I have 3 more in the house ready to bake. So my garden, even though it was a mess and like a jungle, it was actually a success as far as me, one person getting a lot of food out of it. So yeah, I'm going to have a whole different plan next year. I'm not going to plant any vine things because, I can't walk then. It's all over the place and I'm going to trip and fall in my garden and nobody will find me. Uh, so let me share my screen and I'll show you the things that I sold this week. First thing is a graft, and you'll see at the end of the graft, after that big tall one, then it's like almost every other day I'd have a sale. Not too great of a week again. Okay, let's go to the first thing I sold was this BKE tank top. Let me make it bigger. It sold for, it didn't sell for that. It sold for $14, I think. Yes, it sold for a best offer of $14, I'm sure. I don't have the slip here that I took. And it's a stretchy, like a bodycon type stretchy top, little tank top, uh, like a tie-dye. Yeah, so that's sold first. And then I sold a Joseph A. Bank silk tie. This sold for $8. That was a best offer that I took. Let's see if I can make this bigger. See, it was $11.99. I took $8 for the best offer. I have loads of ties upstairs. I just want to, sell them and get rid of them. I don't buy ties anymore. I haven't for a long time. And this Adriana Papel, this sold for $15 best offer, which I took. This is looks like a slip to me, but they actually wear these as dresses now. It has straps like a regular. We used to wear them as slips, but it got popular to wear them as little dresses. So, yeah, I took a best offer of $15 for that. The next thing is this Banana Republic. This is a silk cashmere brown sweater, very soft and luxurious. Bumblebee, I got this from Bumblebee. It's a size medium, and this sold for $20.39. That was the 15% off sale that was on at the time. The next thing is one of the first blazers I sold. This is a, make that bigger. This is a herringbone and a stripe. It has pockets. Those are working pockets. This is a really nice looking little jacket by Dorothy Biz, B-I-S. I never heard of that brand at all. It's like a career wear jacket. And this sold for $20.39. There's the brand name. Size 14. Never heard of that before. I've had it a long time because, see, it's on this white background and it's on a mannequin. So I've had this a while. Now, this Tahari jacket is the one I got from Bumblebee in her last box, I think. This is a Tahari ASL career suiting blazer. It's a plus size of 14W. It's dressy. It's a dressy blazer. It has a satin bow here. It snaps like an inside snap that you can't really see. So it's just a dressy type blazer. Sold for $45.04. I had put this on at $52.99, had a 15% off sale on it. I was happy with that sale. Now, what is this about? This, let me bring this forward. Okay, I just sold this yesterday. This is a Woolrich maxi skirt, size 16. I think this is vintage. I think I might have put vintage on the listing. I've had this quite a while. It has fringe along the bottom. It's wool, and it's lined. I think it has pockets. It's just kind of a strange skirt. But yes, I've had this a while. I finally sold it for $12.74, and that was a best offer that I took. And the next thing, no, that's not it. I had another thing. Maybe not. No, that's the last thing. The next thing is actually I sold today, this morning, so it won't be on till next week. Okay, we're going to Poshmark now. I sold this Altered State baby doll tiered ruffle, full, like a tank top or a sleeveless top, and size small. And this sold for $20. That's on Poshmark. And then also on Poshmark, I sold this pair of Sam Edelman shoes. I've had these forever. These are the ones I had such a trouble boxing up in that little box that I set them in. Because these are on Poshmark. They have to go ground advantage now. So these are a size 9. This taupe color leather with a stacked heel. Very nice shoes, but I've just had them forever. And the last thing was this Dress Barn women's velvet blazer. This was really pretty. It's a size 18-20, and it's a 3-button blazer. Has decoration here like pockets, but these weren't real pockets. It was all lined and everything. This sold as a best offer for $14. So let me see the numbers here. Now this is just for eBay. From the 21st to the 27th, it's Sunday to Saturday. Total sales $218.20. Shipping costs were $75.47, and I made a net sales of $133.44. Average sale price $27.28. I'm sure that Tahari jacket helped that out. So let me come back here and I'll tell you what Poshmark's numbers were. Okay, on Poshmark, the 3 items came to a gross sale of $54, and I netted $43.05. That was an average selling price of $18. So when you put it all together and how much I actually made that went to my bank account, $176.49. That's what I made this week. So there you go. I'll have 2 things to ship out tomorrow so far. Now sales end, they look like they end like today, so maybe I'll get some more sales. One of the sales you'll see tomorrow on the Ship With Me is that Woolrich wool skirt. The other is the top that I'll show you tomorrow. Yeah. So, is anybody out there selling anything? How is Poshmark doing as far as the change in shipping goes? I sent for all my boxes. I sent for the boxes. I don't know how long it'll take to get them because it even says when they send you back an email that, of course, they're getting lots of orders. Everybody that sells on Poshmark is ordering. So it may be weeks and weeks. I don't know. So we'll see what I get. I didn't order, well, maybe I did. I ordered just one like, I think you can order 50 poly mailers. I think that's the smallest number. Not sure. But I ordered them just to take a look at them. Because I may just order them myself, the poly mailers. But the boxes, for sure, I need the boxes. So there's just two sizes, not there's a size like the shoe box, and then there's a smaller squarish box. There's nothing like the 1097 and 1095 boxes that they have. These are Ground Advantage boxes for Poshmark. But I heard somebody that had gotten boxes, and there's nothing on the boxes that he got that says anything about Poshmark. So I don't understand. Maybe it's a number or something on there. He's thinking that he could use them for eBay too. But boxes from UPS are free. It's not like you're cheating UPS out of money because you get boxes from them free. I mean, if you go to the post office. Now, these aren't supposed to be available in the post office, the Ground Advantage boxes. So I don't know. I don't know about that. Renee, hi. You just got home. I went to early. I've been going to the 9 o'clock church. It works better for me when I'm on here. It's lucky I didn't wait till 11 because I wouldn't have gone because that's when I was in the middle of my headache. So I went down I should have did a video on it, but I didn't. I went down in where I'm sort of storing my food, my little tiny bit of food downstairs, and several things are already out of date. So like the macaroni and cheese is out of date. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to have macaroni and cheese several times this week. And the stuffing mix is out of date. So I have to use that up. That doesn't store well. It doesn't even seem like I bought that more than a year ago and already it's out of date. So that kind of thing doesn't last like canned things. Canned things can last, 2 or 3 years, whereas these box things don't last very long. So you have to keep redoing them, using what you have and redoing. So for me, I don't really see the advantage of having a big inventory down there, which I don't, And I keep using up my coffee. Samantha and I are going Monday. We're going grocery shopping. I'm going to try to do a grocery shopping for the month and get most things that, except for, like, I'll have to go back and get milk and orange juice, things like that. Maybe yogurt, but other things, maybe I can buy for the whole month. I don't know. I'm still working on my list. Because I watch Retired Happy. Have you tuned in on her yet? She's a Southern lady from Mississippi. I really enjoy watching her. She's 80 now. I thought she was in her mid-70s, but I guess in January she turned 80. So she's 80 too. Well, I'm more than 80, but in my 80s. And she goes shopping once a month, except for milk and things. And I'm thinking, well, I don't know why I couldn't do that, you know, instead of going every 2 weeks. Why couldn't I just go once a month and get the biggest, amount of things? So, and try it and see how it works out. Uh, yes, so that's what I sold. And praise the Lord, my headache is pretty much gone. After you have a migraine or a bad headache, it's just sort of there in the background, over my eyes, but it's not a real headache. It's just sort of lingering still. So, yeah, when I didn't feel good with the headache, I got cold. I got chills, I got cold. That happens every time I don't feel good. I get cold. I get cold for everything. And then I had the doors shut on the house, and I look at the temperature. It's 81 outside. I just need to go out and stand in the sun. Here I have my fleece jacket on in the house. It's probably colder in here than it is outside. So that is it for this week as far as my reselling video. Ah, like I told you earlier in the week, I didn't get to buy anything at the Crazy Bins this week because it was closing as I went in there. So this Thursday, this coming week, I'm going to try to get back there. On Thursday, I'll go in the morning because they're only open till 2. I didn't even know that because I always went in the morning. So, and get a few more things. Not a lot because I don't want to really add much to my inventory. I'm trying to sell more than I list for sure. I don't know. I might go through, I found some things. If I try to sell things I've had forever, I'm talking years, and they don't sell at like super, super low prices, I might just take them out of the inventory and donate them. That's another way to get my inventory down. Because it's not worth it to me to go through the hassle of selling things for a couple dollars, so I'm out of things at the moment. Or no, I still have 4 things in drafts. 4 more things to put on. But when I have things, I was listing 3 things a day, but then when I got down to only having a very few things, I was skipping every other day, and then I was just going on and doing sell similar, like ending items and putting them on as new items. So, like the last couple days, I haven't done either. So that could be why I'm not selling a lot. You can't go by me because I'm not really, the people that are listing every day, they're listing 10, 20 things a day, and I'm sure they're selling. They may not be selling like they used to, but I'm sure they're not like 0 days. But I'm just not listing very much, so I try to fiddle around with my store so that they see that I'm active doing something. I think they look for that too. So you'll excuse me if I do go a little early today because I don't want to get this headache back, and being on the computer is probably not a good idea when I'm on the verge here. So I'm going to close for now. I will be back on tomorrow morning with the Ship With Me video, and hopefully I will get some more sales this week. And I will see you either on the Ship With Me or another video or Thursday for live. So thank you all for joining me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.